Niba Yirsam do Mange Pala Sumsigdo, Mange Bepe, Nena Hajan Tawa, Jesung Takshe, Tanzeri Sumshegdo, Tatambu Mange Bepe, Yirsam Tasuko, Cabin Egimendus, Dishegora.
We're on the section of the text here that's called a refutation through an analysis of the meaning of the words used in the proof. Here it's divided into the unsuitability of the meaning of shape as a reason, and then the unsuitability of the word shape as a reason. Oh, okay. The unsuitability of the word shape as a reason.
Oh, yeah. That's why we give some tasks on the cabin egg medus tip at the Shagora. Pumbe give some to Tade maybe cherish. Jigangi Nelu Lonju Nam give Teta, Pumbe give some to Tade Maveres, Chigbares. Oh, there's one Pumbe, Pumbe give Kibu Chabashindo, Nelu Lonju La Sokbagi. If they are keep you clever to Bayina, and they cabin gig my resegora.
So, here the unsuitability of the meaning of shape as a reason begins with the fact that particular shape is unproven in the subject. So, the fact that, so we're on that particular topic, and it follows that a shaped object, etc., that is positively and negatively related to the assistance of a person who is its own designer is not a correct reason proving that worldly abodes, bodies, and enjoyments have preceding them the mind of some person.
Yirtam do Tade Mebecheri Shebe Tale Teda Kibu Sheber Cheso Porigba Mahindi Sigara Pumbe Yipsam do Tade Mebecheri Nelu Longula Soba Teda Kibu Sheba Yidi Pumbe da Sumbe Yim Dembechersana Tanda Rigmares ora Teda Yip Teda Yip Kibu Shebe Yiptan Kurik Tade Gengobole Kewa Rabdu Tubechersa. Oh, Teda, Yipti, Kibu Chebe, Yipna, Kurik Tadele, Kibu Chebe, Yiptus, Kibu Solet and the Chagurese. Zabulin, Ludan Longula Sobe, Yiptus, Kibu Solet and the Cheba Mare Segura. Oh, Teda, Yip, Kibu Chebe, Yipna, Kurik, Tadejin Mobile, Keva Rabdu to Beaches. Yipsam do Tade made, Yipsam do Sumbarese, Yipshebe, Trajuba Sumbe. So say, if some do cabin made, if she betan you was some beso. Pena, there is a Rayube, she mapok washing also. Pena, there is a Rayube, she mapok washing also. Pagina Chushan, may you de Sakao Yubichers, Tao Yubichers, Quavina. And then Sakao dea, Mengon to Channel Trubarede, Dojo de Mengon to Channel Cheva Kanshi, Tao Yumbo Tsung Bichers, Bogba Tsumbares, Diana Rigma somewhere.
And Damba de, that's a Thomas on that day.
What's Thomas? Can't do so.
Damba ni, because did I eat cable jabit, eat down. Did it might have been him.
Nani subject yemba. You were eat some to Mangi some sheba.
No, there.
And then Mangi be pesera.
No.
Give some task on a cabin egg marity petition. Oh. When Nena has on tower.
Oh,
Jason touch some.
Oh, they go to one.
Yeah.
Get
Cookie?
Did it? Did it?
Did those houses, Joshua?
Or a bay?
Did not remember. Cousin Adimba. Chilu, you may change if so change the Rabduba, Tele Cheso Poga, Tende rigba ni no se.
Oh, di jo tsarare.
Do samare.
Di jo tsarare.
Oh, rajingi loba be kibu penji do yemeji chesun jugba changi yimden so de chojense. Kyo jigden gi nelu lonji kibu cheba longon do tande cheba tube tanda mayimbarta. Pumso chindawa te da rabdu tugna se. Pumba shindu kibu soale chungwe yibi ina. Ne dire karsure. Sujungi yibla tende nelu lonji la sokba. Kibu cheba tuba pokba di rigba ina ya. De sujungi yibdan tengi mare sungora. Kyole teda cheswaba kanyi batini rigba ina ya. Kyoje teda tube chojo ma tube echirse. Jigdengi nelu lonji na choji cheba bulongondo sonde. Kibu chingi la ya. Sujungi yibdan tenbe echirse na. Chojo chogo mare sungora. Tindo sama sunga.
I wasn't sure. I had my what do you say? My marker here that we were on this one, but then Gemma remembers we already had that. So, but anyway, this is an example of that the what do you say? The reason is not proven in the subject. So then it says, because if everything exists in that way that a pot does, then some inference from that that will be reasonable. But in fact, it is unproven that the reason is present in the subject of that proof. Did Jela did Yankarson on that day?
I did Chogita da Chojimus, the Kesdo Sara. Chingila Bachi, Samba, Shogi Chinlogi. Oh, Daddy.
Then it.
Oh, that is Lapsan Kamado. Chogita da to be Chojuma to be Chisba. Die and that said, to G and that said, Susumi but and out Senya Serva. Do you love the China?
No.
Taking on it like Susumi but die and out Senya Serra. Dadelia, Dagi Susum Sangura. Dagi Susum de Sanson and Diandare. Susum de San and Tatarna said. Oh, yeah. Susum Sena, Chochu, Chikam, do Capsere.
No.
I'll teach you like Chochu, Chikap, do Cap. To 60 good way. Yeah,
so this is a good point as it's talking about the property of the subject, or that the reason is a property of the subject. Then this is a good point to talk about what a correct reason. What are the qualities of correct reason? There are three characteristics that are the qualities of a correct reason, and the one is the property of the subject. The second one is the forward pervasion, and then there's the third one, the counter pervasion.
Take it away. Susum did this one.
No, did this
Oh, any other. That Chochu said it to the character Woodisna. Tachu Medaba in the Cheba in Bechesataku Yora. The Tayandare. That Tachu Meda the Chebe Chesede, Chochusana, Chosana, Sushi del Cobra, Sushi Tadel Cobra. Chusana Tadel Cobra. Tacheba del Cobra. Chochu Turuse. And Tacheba Re Medaba in a mena some shanty shusona, and a Chochu Tubsegora. Kansa de Tati or Tachu Meda Cheba in Becher or the Tacheba Re. Keji Medaba in a some co shanty sugar, Thomas Huggies Core. Some Satangas, Candina, Sakandre, some Conquist Cora. Or the Chochu Segura. Tade. Shindu Chujin, Sushi de Shindu Chujin Sigora. Tachujin without the Chebeches, Tadela, Shindu Chujin Sigora. Shindu Chujin Sinaco, Tati Chebere, Midaba in by the Shindu Gora.
네.
메다바 이나 맨날 그 삼로 당겨와라. 어디인데 다들이야 신도 추진해서 그래. 아니데 간전에 메다바 잡는 분배신이스네. 분배들이야 아니 가르쳐래. 틈비 추진해서 그래. 빼러. 네. 추진, 틈비 추진해서. 미팅바 추진해서. 추진들이 같이 쉬어라. 네. 신도 추진해서도 주시들어서 그래. 틈비 추진해서는 빼들어서 그래. 미팅비 추진해서야 미팅비 빼시어라. 간단한 말씀밖에 빼는데 맞은 남가 신세리어라. 네. 근데 신도 추진해서도 주시들어. 지지 추진해서 희송서 줘라. 네. 아니 미다바인데 야가래인데 지지 매칠서 그래. 어디 희송서 되고 다 추제 미다바인데 제바 임베치서 다 제바를 삼 땡땡들이 하고 그러고 제바 임베치서는 제바 가르쳐 그래서는 아니 저주트에요 말에 제바 임베 세명에 그러고 세명에네 미다바이나 만나서 신도 쉬고 거래 미다바 시 마찬가지 거래 네 어디인데 다들 신도 추진해서 거래 다들 미다바이나 만나 삼고 신도 쉬고서 시디로 와 추진대로 와 신도 추진해서 거래 다양다 주시들 신도 추진해서 다데 신도 추진 대tem도 구수단 틈바 여반이도 계시라 다시마다 집에서 그래 다디 제발해 삼 니에고라 띵에서는 촉주 두우시 거래 촉주 두우시 초 다제 추 다제 신도 추진 다들이야 그 신도 추진 거래 담에다 또 사는 그 신도 추진 말에 하고 살에 촉주 두에요 말에 아니 제발에 하고 면은 제발에 하고 면은 되니 촉주 두에요 말아 다 제발에 미다바 이나 만나서 신도 쇼고라. 어떤데 정상이 가사들 다디 미다와라 제바 임베치스나 촉주 두고래. 기질랍다. Yeah.
So I think this idea of property of the subject then it's a subject is there could be three different choices for a subject. One is that it's what is it? The person that you're positing this syllogism towards then has to want to understand. Basically, is basically what that means. And take for example the syllogism that sound is impermanent because of being a product. This is the classical one. Then that sound here is a the person doesn't understand that sound's impermanent, but they're wondering, they want to understand what sound is. Okay, and whether it's impermanent or not, and so that's why you choose sound. Then, because of being a product, usually translators nowadays are putting like because of being a product of causes and conditions, because product doesn't work for us too well in the English. So, but in the Tibetan it just says product. But so then product has to be something that also that the person, can understand, that as being related to the subject. So then there are other subjects. The other subjects are something that is, what do you say,
tumbe koya 다시미다 제베셔스 강제나 미다바 연구를 빼나 남게 로신 설실람나 남게 로데코 오데 남게 로데 기지 교도도 삼삼미다바 하고 제바하고 계시거라 하고 상계시거라 빼든도 하고 살으시거라 주시들을 단다 하고 또 주시거라 tumbe 추진해서 tumbe배 tumbi chuchen, mi tumbi chuchen siora.
Yeah, tumbi chuchen sena de lo dig it a be.
Oh Lord, ta chuchen, kan chena me da ba chapena namge lo shin misena. Tumbi chuchen ra.
Yeah. You can, if you then said at the end, for example, sound is impermanent because of being a product of causes and conditions like lightning. Then lightning is like a, what do you say? I don't know. Something that tumbe means.
Chebatan midaba to sarskora. Benan dinashin resto ore lode. Taxi the Judan King Chene. Namsa con Judu do some hakora. Timbe, Tramida Pares, Jujing Chever was. Jujing Chever and Medaba Yingo Grase. Lona Shirabas, the Pete Hakos and Geskora.
So the person has to understand the example, and so that's why it's called tumbe. It's appropriate to the syllogism, really, I think is what it's saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Tundako Shendu Chujan Sigdo. Tade Medagba Ymashe Dugiora, Tandako Tis Tosayo Mara. Oh, did Tisha to Tata Kugiora. That Sheban Dube Chujan Tito, Shendu Chujan Teliaco. Medaba Sigora. Cheba Yimbe Chestakuora. Oh, try the Cheba Medaba Candesina, Sako Samutangiora. Oh, the Duzako Chochu troops were there. Try the Cheba in Batsamenge, Medaba Yimile Shendu Shugua. This one's a title Shendu Chujan Sigora. Try the Cheba in Bato, Medaba in a Manas or Samutangiora. And you try the Sushi Shendu Chujan Sigora.
So then, the subject is one that the person wants to understand as being impermanent. They're wondering, well, is sound impermanent or not? And so then, when you give the reason, the reason then has to be a property of the subject, and such that the person will understand the reason and be led towards what do you say? Understanding the realizing that sound is impermanent. So then you have to choose your so to have a correct reason, it has to have this what do you say, characteristic of the property of the property of the subject. The important thing is that the person, to be an appropriate recipient of this syllogism, I guess we can say, or somebody who you're stating it to, then it has to be somebody who hasn't understood that sound is impermanent and who wants to understand that sound is impermanent. So if somebody has already realized that sound is impermanent, then you wouldn't give this syllogism.
Guzuda Timba Yobanido, Taco Nation, Medabare, Cheba de Bas, Cocheba in Bata Hakosuna, Guzuda Timba Yobangi Basigora. Trache Medadi Cheba in Basichera. Oh, Tracheba race, try it and do Chebang yes and do the tra cheba ngesne de cheba tala yeba ngesne de chibare
no ne
this one
no
tra chechen meta de cheba imbe chera oh tra de cheba de meta ba yina mena sam ko ha ko ro
no ne
sa tra cheba semen ne meta ba yimle shindu shu se da ya cheba tra tendo kansa de cheba tra tendo gusu de temba yeba ngeba sira tra디 메타바레 제바 임베 실슬랍게오라 당고고라 오레 tra디 제바레 삼 tra케시손에 제바 또고요라 근데 제바데 tra이든도 고수데 템바 여방해봤으라 당고바 나신 그 제바데 tra랭 예고거래 야야나 tra디 제방 예고래 야 제바 tra랭 예고래 지바레 tra디 케시손에 제바 또디 제바 tra이든도 고수데 템바 여방해봤으라 야야나 tra 제바 임방해봤으라
So then the person doesn't understand impermanence, but they have some understanding of well, they do understand that sound is a product, and also, what do you say, a product of causes and conditions. They can go, they understand that sound is a product, and also they understand that, you know, if they thought of what is a product of causes and conditions, that they would think of sound. So it would work both ways. And then they're only they haven't come to a what do you say, a certain knowledge that the sound is impermanent. So this is the way that they would understand that sound is impermanent, through the property of the subject.
Oh yeah. Da cheba re mida bayina mena sam ko sam denge kansa chora mi chora o kolya da mida wara keji mida wara cheba imbe chirse sona da kol chochu tuare o de ta cheba re mida bayina mena so sam ta gyora kol chochu tuare 다 잠에다가 또 상계 줘봐. 잠에다가 또 상계 주는 걸 잠에다가 제바임베 스스로 초주 주에요 말에. 그 신도요 말에 신사로 와. 잠에다가 그래서 하고 살아. 단단히 신도 쇼버 거라. 이따가 이나 간데나 삼로 당게 지고 거라. 잠에다가 또 사나 다시 좀에다가 제베시스 미들 따고는 초주 주에요 말에. 신도 주세요 말 거. 신소. 다야 다 제바하마고 계시나 다들 주인 제바하마고 계시나 다들 메다바레 제바레스나 제바선 가르치 거서 하고 요 말아 그 소주 두개 요 말아 요사 어디지라
there are two examples of where the what do you say, the property of the subject wouldn't be complete. Where first would be somebody who already understands that sound is impermanent, then so because sound is not an example of you know, something for it to be a property of the subject in a correct reason, then sound, it has to be something that they want to understand, okay, that they want to understand whether it's impermanent or not. And for somebody who already understands that it's impermanent, then they're not going to have that wanting to understand it. So then you have to say then that this characteristic of the reason is not complete. For, did I say characteristic of the reason, I think is it's not complete. And then also another example or another instance where the reason wouldn't be complete would be for somebody who doesn't understand that sound is a product. They just sort of go, oh, product, sound, how are those two things related? So then in that case, that person, it wouldn't be, they wouldn't have this property of the subject also, because they don't understand that sound is a product.
oya chocho setindiza da chikapse chara chikap chikapsena trachuji midade chebe chesugdo gyujingi chebatele midaba de chesu kapde yore chikapsede tra midaba de segora kar cheba rawa segora cheba ina ko midaba kapde yore midaba yin ko chide de yore segora chikapsede trubje chode dala ma chesu kaba yana cheba ina midaba yin be kaba ti tonda chibare 강 제나 메다바 캡스라 지캡스를 캡한테 떠오라 강 제바이나 뭐 컨디션에 제바이나 계지계지게 주로체게 메다바 인고 그래서 뒤떠고요라 야 들래 제바이나 메다바 인베 캡았으네 되그래 강 제바들 메다바 제수 캡아 지캡스 다시 메다데 제베셔라 제바이나 가로 제바이나 메다바 인베 제수 캡되어라 제바이나 메다바 인베 냠도 레고 그러마도 규징 제베실 메다 많이 버셔나 요 말에 달리 지켜서 그래 강 제베나 메다 바이 베켜봐 야강 제베들 메다 베체 수켜봐 규징 제베 인친제 들고 메다 바이 인고 봐 달리 지켜서 그래 비질람나
Then the forward provision is that would then be that whatever is a product is necessarily impermanent, that the person understands that all instances of a product are always, you know, when we say product of causes and conditions, it means that it's whatever is a product of causes and conditions, it's constantly in a process of flux, you know, just change. Momentary change, and therefore it's impermanent, and so that's the quality of it's called forward pervasion, that whatever is a product is necessarily impermanent, and so another way of stating that is that product is pervaded by being impermanent. Another way of saying that.
Yeah, taimada. Oh, tene ka cheba ina medaba yen kogre sam toku do ako chikapsidu sa. Oh, ka cheba ina medaba yen kogre pena namgelo na shire esidu. Oh, re namgelo de kyujingi cheba de konjundu wa judu do asam. Peytendu togura. Cheba ina medaba yen bekaba de peytendu togura. Ka chena medaba yen bekabure. Pena namgelo shinose. Namgelo tendo ore ti cheba re medaba re peytendu ko hako sagej kore. Medaba hako cheba hako sagej. Trade medaba re cheba re was. Pena namgelo na shire was de. This one.
No. Then you have to choose a example that the person understands as both being well, first of all, they're going, oh, whatever is a product is necessarily impermanent. So that gets them, you know, so that they're thinking that, perhaps, you know, that it is impermanent, you know, that sound is impermanent. But then you give them an example that makes them understand that whatever is that they can understand as both being a product and being impermanent. And so then, in this case, say a flash of lightning, okay.
Dikapsero. Kanga cheba ina medaba ina bekabati togudo. Tako sadige. Oh, tishetene. Dokapsido. Dokapsena. Kanga tauna mache bekab. Che kanga sede kamshik sigora. Che kanga dechi ina yang sigora. Takwa resona ni cheba yungu ma res. Mache bekab gres. Tela dokapsigora. Kanga cheba de ina medaba yinku gres chikapchero. Medaban done. Medaban dose de medaba maimba sigora. Medaban done takwa resona cheba yanshin ma res sigora. Dokapside. Kanga medaban done takba yinba yina, ati cheba yingu ma res. Kyudan jengi cheba yina, midaba yingu res. Chikyabche. Kaan midaba memba che, midaba doone takba reso na, minjure takba reso na, shochi reso na, dili kyujingi cheba yingu ma res. Kaan takna majebe kyaba asete. Dilan dokyabsi gore. Midaba doone takba reso na, majebe kyabgi res, dokyabsi gore.
Then counter pervasion is the negative of the forward pervasion. So then you can say just the opposite too. So then it would be whatever is permanent. You're taking the opposite of impermanent and say it is necessarily a non-product or is not produced by causes and conditions. So then it's just the opposite of the forward pervasion, which is that whatever is a product is necessarily impermanent. So whatever is a permanent is necessarily a non-product.
Oh, did Kang Chena Midabayin Kore. Midaba members could talk about this, she can't talk by Yina, Majabayin Gore something. And it's kept to the kept to Sigora. They can't the Tacosa de Togore. Trashich in Midaba in the Cheba in BHS. Lacusa Kansa Jora. Okay, oh, the Tracheba, Midaba Yina Candida, some Samata. Oh, Cheba and Midaba Yangura. Namgelona Shirvas or Lord did it some chick of some Tagora. Kede Midaba Don and Midaba Mena, Tagba Resona, Jujing Cheba Yoshimar, Kantana Majibe Kaba, or Retires, then do kept Yora. Kantana Majibe Cabati to, Kanchena Midaba in Becabati Tosona, and they could Kanchena Midaba in Gure, some Todi, Chicapto, Chicap Kantana Majiba in Gure something. Con kept to Giora. This why
the person wants to understand that the impermanent, that sound is impermanent, and so then so then when you give them the syllogism with the forward pervasion that well, sound is impermanent because of being a product. When they hear when they think of it in terms of the forward pervasion, then they have to come to an understanding of the forward pervasion. It's just like that. This serves as a proof for them that whatever is a product is necessarily impermanent, and then thinking, for example, a flash of lightning. Then they also have to establish the counter pervasion in that by stating, by thinking or stating, whatever is permanent is necessarily not a product. So then they have to come, oh yeah, that's true. So they have to have both these, the forward pervasion and understanding or come to drup means like just come to an understanding that of the forward pervasion and the counter pervasion.
Adang Cheba tam meta panjiten drawa yore, drawa sesh. Drawa se de ni yora, tang chikbe drawa, tang ni thade drawa si yora. Tang ni chikba, ngo chikba gen drawa chi, ngo thade gen drawa si yora. Tua meta dress na ngo thade raba, tua pe loga me pe loga de musum kaga thong yora. Se thade se re, ngo thade ra. Junde gen drawa to se thade ngor, ngo thade drawa ngora. Tua da men drawa yorde. Tua da me se thade ra. Tua me da thade se thade. Men dog ki tua dog re. Me na 도 용토고 말해. 도 용고 또는 매진지 매지 요거래. 들려 도 매단 들어와서 거라. 도 요나 매지 요네 도 깨고래. 도리야 매지 체수 되대 거래. 도요 도지 터나 매지 요네 마도 도 용요 말아. 도 요나 매를 잡수도. 매매나 맨도나 도안도 그래. 매매는 도 용고 말아. 어떻게 도 매단 타대 맨도도기 도안도 봐. 도 매단 들어와서 그래. 제반 매다보다 타대 매다반 도도기 제반도 봐. 제반 매다보다 들어와서. 따대다 줍제 셔들 들어와요 그래. 따양다. 따대다 줍제 셔들 들어와요 그래. 야나 다치변 들어와 야나 대충된 들어와요 그래. 알레디 줄랍다.
There has to be a relationship or a connection, maybe in this case, between the sign or the sign or the reason, however you want to think of that. People use both words, product and impermanent. In this syllogism, there has to be a relationship between the two, and there's Dani Drawa, Dani Zed.
Dani Chigbendawa.
One is that they're the same.
What do
you say? Ngojikba means the same nature, that they're of the same nature, and they're of different natures. Yeah, for instance, a cause and a product will a cause and effect will be different. Will be different natures, and for instance, smoke and fire. You understand that there's a relationship between smoke and fire. It's such that if the fire is put out, then there's no smoke, right? And so if there's no fire, there's no smoke, and that let's see, if there's no smoke, then you know that there's no fire. So so there has to be that kind of relationship between the two of them. There has to be what did I say, connection or something.
That Cheba Midaba, Chena Midabe Kabasora, Cheba in a Midaba Rang in Gugre, some Tosona, and it's Chigaptogora. Ta Cheba de Midaba Konala Yovasora. Kan Cheba de Midaba Rang in Gure, City Tosona, Chigaptosora. Ta de Tunjo Konal Yovasure. Tunjos in the Midaba, the Trachu in Midaba in this, the Midaba de Tunjore. Tumbecho. Tunjosora.
Tunjo.
Cheba in Besera. Cheba de Tunjo Midaba Konala Yobangesona, and it's Chigab Nesagare. These are Tunjos. And then Cheba de Tagbala, Mituncho, Tagbalea. Cheba Midaba de Cheba Tunjore. You don't get Cheba in a Midaba in Guyora. Tagba de Cheba Mitunchora, Mitunbechora. Go Tagba choosing Cheba Yomara. Attend Mituncho de Tagbatire. Tagwalia Cheba Mebanyitung Esona. Tana Majebe Cabasesa. Tagba in a Majeba in Gures, Cabangete, and a Doctor Nesiguartella. So Ta Cheba de Tagbal Yomare, some. Tagba in a Cheba Yungumare, some Chinegura. Cheba in a Metabara in Gugre, some Negura. Can Cheba in a Metaba Cheson del Gugre, Metaban Dona, and a Cheban Don Gure, Cheba Yanshingumare, some Cheba da Metaban draw the Samlutangore. She kept on the capside. Cheba da Metaban draw. And the Toad, all the teacher loved that.
So when you're thinking about the relationship then between the sign and the predicate here is the word for the well, in our syllogism, predicate describes the impermanent, that sound is impermanent because of being a product. So when you're thinking about the product, a product being impermanent, that whatever is a product is necessarily impermanent, then there has to be a relationship between product and impermanent that's like, what do you say, that they're harmonious and never, that they agree with each other or somehow like that. Whereas if you were thinking about the counter pervasion, then what you're doing is again contemplating the relationship between the predicate and the reason. But in this case, you're just choosing what's not, what isn't, what do you say, agreeable or in harmony with the reason or the sign, and that would be permanence, or being static, or however you want to think of it. So then the person has to come to an understanding by understanding to an understanding of sound being impermanent, which is the thesis. Then through contemplating the relationship between the reason and the predicate, and doing that through both the forward pervasion and the counter pervasion, and then they can understand sound is impermanent.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Tatun dako, trachuchin medati chebe chesidu. Tadina, trupche chudimbe kyabgudo, chikyab trupsina. Taki, takandisom. Midabayinde chebayimbe chirchara. Chikyab trupi chebayinde midabayimbe kyabgudo. Chebayinde midabayimbe makyamne chikyab trupi medua. Oh, de karsura. Ibdan dena. Chebabu longon do songe kyabgura. Kyabgura ni chikyab trupi wara. Chebabu longon do songe ibdan de bechirchara. Na ibiyena songe kansa chigi samlutan de sobe kyabge yunani chikyab trupi wara. Tagin konzo koya taatili chikyab trupi maresi wara. Karesuna ibiyena ya ko chebabu longon do songe chebe kyaba mendusi wara. Kyaba yo mari kina taada maresi wara.
That konse date kasa yip, right?
Good. Didn't it? This one,
No, this one there.
Whatever is love would happen.
No, go there, but
This one.
The concept the kasa draw the kasa.
Concept again. The Jidan Chebabu Kerne gave to our question. Jidan ne le longe nam choshin shara. Chebabu lo yo amon to son the cheba rede. Ibdan den beshere. Na pumbashin slarwa. Ana zo. Ibdan dana, ibdan taskona. Ibdan chebabu lo ngon to son the cheba kagumendose. Chikap to gumendose or kerata na marese. Neba yo mare ibdan dana. Chebabu lo ngon to son the cheba neba yo mare. Zambulin da ridan shinda to Yipto Chebabu Longo Son Cheba Mare Sigara. Dianda Mare Kaba Medo Sigara.
So if we go to the syllogism being put forward by the hypothetical person who what is it? who asserts a divine creator, then they're saying that the what do you say, abodes and bodies and resources, or what is the word he used? Not resources, but anyway, enjoyments of the world are preceded by the mind of a creator because they are shape. Okay, so and then gave the example of a pot. Okay, so then in this case, then the argument is going that there's no forward pervasion here. That whatever is a shape is not necessarily preceded by a mind, or doesn't have some intention behind it. For instance, there's the trees, mountains, and the things that are not, created by a person.
I think I know. Oh, the Tatang Dilapson. Kibu Chebe, if the task go on, Sierra. Kibu, you make Kibu, Songe, Kansa, you make it. Jason Drongegi, if the task go in Ansawara. Kansa Songe, some Lutan, the sir. Kansa Songe, man, Mayonge, if you are a Pumbe, you can't be able to Sera. Oh, Kibu Chebe, if the task go in Ansawara. Then, Chojo to go Maresora. Jite Nelu Lonjon and Kibu Cheba Maresora. Jite Nelu Lonjon and Cheba belong on the Sunday. Sujunga, you in Besha Saura. Kibu Soala, you in Besha, Yip the Karan, Kibu Sujunga, Yip the task over in Nasagora. Then, Jite Nelu Lonjonam, Kibu Soala, Yip and Damba Maresora. Chojo to Gumidua. Chojo to Neta, the Sushi Togudua. They can get my level to chase. I Chojo said the Tokusan. Chojo to do that, the sushi till you are too good. Sushi to the Tadi Chabare, Sambora, and taking Jidan Nelly Lonjana, or Kibu, so I can Chabare, Samna, Toya Yona, and Chojo to Gura. You read to the Kibu Savamara. And then Zambulin Kibu search so you are Mara. Chojo to Medusa. Kibu Chebe, if the task good. Jidan Nelu Lonjon of Kibu Cheba Mara, Chojo to Mares.
Oh, Chocha. So then, sorry, I got stuck on the idea of pervasion, but here we're talking about Chocha, the property of the subject, that the property of the subject is such that if you're having shape that's where shape that's created by some person, well, then it's not a property of all the abodes and what's it, Nelu, abodes, bodies, and resources of the world. Because there's mountains and trees and so forth that are not created by someone. So that's talking about a property of the subject here, and that's what we were just having here in the reading.
Because can I long on the Sunday say, you done them beaches, the beaches, Lodi, Chitan Lotsam on the song less again, Nazuka Kelly to Grace, Leletani Grace, so. Lot Takbachi on the song the Chever Seda, and then you've done Dana, Lot Takba on the song, keep it Susan Yibina, you've done Dana, Lot Takbachi on the Lot Takbachi Samutan, the Masube Cap Grace, or Lot Takba Yoma, or Cabachinji was at it. Geldas and get it over.
Geldas.
Oh, the Yibdan Dana, Lotakwe and to song kept you passion, Yibdan Dana, Lotakwe and to song the Majebe kept Gora. Shesa. Tachuji midadi cheba ina midaba imbe kyabgu yara. Cheba ina midaba ma imbe kyabgu yuna ni chinjularo galdaro kyaban gyawara. Dayanda ina chiji imbe chirsayadi te ina te imbe kyabachi kugyawara. Tatanda ko de yibdan dembe chirsa yibdan dena lo takba gengondo soni cheba imba kugura lo takba chingondo cheni cheba yindi yibdan dembe chirsalamna. Lo takba gengondo soya yomaro lo takba yomaro. Te cheba chinjilore. Ulja dedes.
Galda.
Galda said it.
There's the another problem with this syllogism is called contradictory. That was brought up yesterday, where if you want to say that whatever is a shape that's created by a person, whatever is a shape created by a person is preceded by an impermanent mind, a mind that's impermanent, then we have no problem with that. But if you say that it's that whatever is whatever is created by I'm sorry, I'm losing the reason. Whatever is a shape. I keep mixing up all my syllogisms here. Sorry. Whatever is a shape is created by has a permanent mind before it. Then that's called a mistaken pervasion, which means that it's contradictory. Okay, it means that it's contradictory. You can't have you can't have a shape created by persons and where the mind is where the mind is permanent. Yeah, and
that's why. Oh, that didn't any system got the rob to send a yata to do. So, tongue and you did that. So, young Jachilam, to then, like you made the toy you basis or pocket door to give you, Missile Mako, or Tapig made. Kagi was a car, Kanga down the Kagi was a car Hakura, Gamucha, Dako Mayo such dosa. Pajoto bachi trombachi na rindu to tungi na. Oh, ta pige meyo sar pige na metro chore sam kura. Oh, tiende ko pagina chujen sigura. Meyo de to yube sigura. Ta ko yora. Ta ko so o de pige to ndo ata meyo re sam ko samluta mangbu tagi ta chuji meda ba ni cheba ibi chirsa na she yimna samluta tende yurumbu goye ke o mare. Luburu etare namsa ko shendo shugura pige memeto yoga to ando wase ko tene pige me to yosa me jiresam ta to sindure ji roba chila pige to ando pige me seresna odo se ko ha ko do so dile susum sagara pige to ando te sonza me jiresam gewara chogje chogdo te kande sa Toa yuna me yoku resam, toa the men drama haku, Namiko metangura. Metana chief signa toa yungu yusam, metan matina toa yungu mesa haku yora. Toa yuna me yoku resam gora. Me mena toa yungu mare something drama hakura, metan toa and drama haku yora. Made the toa than del devanash. Tapana shimara, Tati Palana and Trigmar, Panata and Trigmarwa. Toa de medan deliore. Dryore. Techunde, Mediana, Toa Ketugure, Toa Yuna matching about Yogure, made the manner, Toa Yon Tugumare. Toa Medan Tade, Zetade, men doctor get to and over.
네.
매매는 도와 용겨 말.
네.
그 저와도 하고 요래.
네.
도와다 매려. 저 아마고는 보 충주래지 그 매단 도와지다 짠 돈만 요게 된대나. 아 등산도 배지 된대 용해 냥가 요래. 로시시 배지 전에 도와시다 요 말아. 에코 도와를 매여서는 가는 상부라. 도 돈만 요나. 도 매여서 가르치기나 상부라.
네.
저와도 매나 하고 말고 도 요나 매여서 상게 말아. 도와도 요나 매여고 그래 상 저와도 하고도 답이게 매여래. 도안도 와 상게래. 가르스나 매매는 도 용 매봐서 그 하고 그래. 도 요나 매여 잡고래 상때 하고 그래. 가르스나 맨도나 돈도고 요 상도 겹다 하고 그래. 매매나 광도 맨도나 도든 도고 요서 매용 도고 매삼 도 겹대 하고 그래. 지겹던 도겨 하고 그래.
네.
그게 도안도 매여 이래 삼도 촉져라.
네.
도와 요나 내봐도 매여 고래 삼겨라. 매매는 도와 용 도고 매 삼겨라. 지겹던 도겨 전때 도와다 매 자와다 하고 그래. 도와다 매대. 도와도 요나 딩해봐 요고 요 디매나 디 용고 매삼.
네.
대 하고 그래.
네.
어딘 자와다 삼르탄도 지겹던 도겨 세트 용고 그래.
네.
아니 도알레 때는 그 매대 냠도 살 여봐 티톱고 요래. 하고 톱고 요래. 그게 도안도와 다 매요래 삼거라. 그래서 매매는 또 용고 매삼부도. 따다 지겹던 도겹서 따대다 주제적인 자와드 삼부다 요래. 대인의 대인국의 대매는 대용고 말에 삼티 삼부다. 아니 다 자대 제거를 다 미다버려서 다 제거라고. 그래서 아이 지불았나?
So just for giving a rough understanding of what the three characteristics or the three modes of a correct reason are, but just to get a better idea of how it would work, very quickly, would be if you were really cold and you're walking out in the a frozen area where frozen mountainous area, and then you saw smoke on the side of a mountain, you would understand that there was fire there, because then it would be a quick understanding, because we know well the relationship between smoke and fire. That if you think of it, over there's fire because there's smoke, okay? Over there being, let's say on the side of the mountain there's fire because there is smoke. And when you say there's, you knowing that when you investigate the relationship between smoke and fire, then you understand that wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Okay, and then but wherever there is not fire, it's also so that's the forward pervasion. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire, right? And then the counter pervasion? You would think if there was no fire, there wouldn't be any smoke, and so then it's you're using both of these to, and you also have to have some understanding of a relation. You have some understanding of a relationship between the two, because if it was like a small child who doesn't have the experience of smoke and fire, then you have the small child that would see the smoke but wouldn't understand that there was fire. Therefore, there had to be fire there, and so then there has to be some kind of an understanding of the relationship, and then to have a firm understanding of the relationship, then you would investigate it through both the forward pervasion and the counter pervasion. So then you understand the relationship between product and impermanence, and then come to an understanding that sound is impermanent.
No, yeah. That Trachujim without the Chebe Chusadu, and Tradi Cheba Himba Hako Sona, Metabayina Manas on the Chochu to Swa. Sheba de Tali Yabanegudwa, Sushi de Tata Yimbanegudwaya, the Chochu Seswa. She caps to do Tadi and to Geshe be Cabatel, she caps Cabasidu, Jeba in the Metaba in Cabas, she caps Sera. Takbayina, Metaban Don, Takbaresuna, the Takbaresuna Sindura. Takbayina, Machebe Cabres and Diaco, do Capsidu, Dana Machebe Cabas, do Caps. Susum Negudwa, Susum Yimba Tanda, Sengicher, Chochu, she kept do Cap. Chochu Senate, that is Sushila, you about Semi Negudwa concert. She kept it, that in a trip should be Cabadi. You go to a Cabadi, Taco Setigi, Nego Yara. Do Caps do the trip sugar dog shotty. Tana Machebe Caps. To then let you made it to a Vichesana. May do a Yona may you be kept. Me mana, do a maybe kept, do capsule. Me mana, men donna, Sigara. Me mana, do a maybe kept. Do a Yona may you be kept. Me mana, do a meal. I pick it to a door, that may have a touch, you see. Geshe Gatambo touch it to Yora. Oh, didn't she? Try the Chevere, Chochu. Try to use Chevere. Mitaba Yinkugre, Mitaba Tanto Toyo Maraco. Try Chevere. Mitaba Yingo, the Chevere. Cheva in a carrier, a Cheva in a Mitaba Yingura, Jordora. Cheva in a Mitaba in Michavura. Mitaba Mana Carre, Mitaba Mana, Tagware, Tagwa in a Kujing Cheva Candes Younger, Younger Madison. Cheva Mitaba and Mitaba dog, Chevan Dogbas, this some Tangura. To a Medandre, Mediana, to a key, Medimana, to a king Madison. This some that figure to yours, touch Yora. Tata to Geshe in Java the Samutai Kashambura. Oh, the Indian Tata, she would enjoy you get the Kolu to Suti to Gure. You want to go, Hako to Gure. Tare something, Palan Yungumara, some Yungumara, Draw your Mara. Oh, the Kaji Chebare, something, and the Medaba Calico Samutai, Cheba the Medaba and draw you, Cheba, Samu Mambutana, and Medaba thought to Gura. Tata to Geshe in Java. Somebody tell it, she kept on dog said Yungora. Yes, you learn. Draw some Lutangiors, draw some Lutan, and she kept dog kept to Gora. Tell it any troops at all to Gora.
So just to summarize, then there has to be these three characteristics of a correct reason that you have the property of the subject, that the reason is a property of the subject, and for instance, the product being a product of causes and conditions is a property of sound. Then then there's the, what do you say, in the syllogism you're trying to understand that there is a relationship between the reason and the predicate impermanence. So the product and impermanence have a relationship, and to understand that relationship, then you have you think it over in the way of both the forward pervasion, which whatever is impermanent is necessarily a product, that it's a product of causes and conditions, and whatever is not whatever is permanent, whatever is not impermanent, right, is not a product, is not created by cause. What do you say? A product of causes and conditions. So then there's this. What do you say? Way of investigating or thinking about the relationship that is in, what do you say, is part of, is it, so that the reason, the reason has to have this relationship with the predicate. That's a very important relationship, and so then you have to think over, in order to come to an understanding of the the thesis that sound is impermanent. Then you have to be thinking over this relationship between the reason and the predicate, and so then the product, that whatever is a product is impermanent, and whatever is not impermanent, whatever is permanent, is not a product. And so then you have that same. If there's no relationship, then it would be like horse and cow, right? there's like, well, no, whatever is a horse is a cow. There's no relationship between the two. So then, but on the other hand, if you take the example of fire and smoke and fire, then that's very clear that there's a strong relationship between smoke and fire. So then you can understand that wherever there's fire, there's going to be, wherever there's smoke, there's going to be fire, and wherever there's not fire, there's not going to be smoke.
다 초절 맞음나 아니 맞으베 텐지스거라 따들려 따따나들 숨여라
다난
맞으베 텐지 망에베 텐지 개베 텐지 숨여라 초절 좀 마소나 아니 맞으베 텐지래
네
다긴가 좀 직대 내려로 좀 남주지 제바별로 건도 sonde 기비 제베 입단 덴베 쳤을람나 초절 두고 말해 지dengi 내려로 좀 강가디 기비 제베 입단 덴기 말아 이 말아 기비 제베 이 말아 그래서
기비 that 기비
지dengi 내려로 좀 남친 지dengi 잠불인데다
that's chochu. Sometimes Jake Captain chochu. Chochu. When we switch over to property of the subject, my mind doesn't go there really quickly. But anyway, chochu. When we're So we've been talking about this syllogism, where that the property of the subject is that in whatever the place and the bodies and the the abodes, product, bodies and resources of the world necessarily have an intention behind them, or a mind behind them, because they are shapes. Okay, so then you have this problem that whatever being a shape and is not being a shape created by a person that created by effort or something like that. A person's effort is not necessarily what do you say, that all the property of all the resources, abodes, and bodies of the world, and so then, so when we had yesterday the three fallacies, or the three fallacies of the reason. I mean, this would be what would be called unproven, where there's where the relevance to the subject is in doubt. How is that relevant to the subject? It is then one of the faults, which is called unproven.
Kibi chebe yibdan dembe chirsana choju tugumido. Nelu lonju na kibi chebe marwa. Na choju tugumido maju betenzi resi gara. Che. Tati ne mangi betenzi singe chiwara. Ale tiji labna. Diswa ti te keswa. Yeah.
So then we just have to decide that it's unproven when you say that if you put forward this syllogism that all the places, resources, and bodies of the world are what do you say, created by the mind. Maybe we could put it that way, because they're shapes that are created through effort, and or a person's effort, and that this that all the resources, bodies, and abodes of the world are not necessarily, what do you say, that there's no property of the subject, and what do you say, of the reason in the subject, because they're not all the places, the abodes, resources, and bodies of the world are not, what do you say, shapes that are created by a mind, okay, or by a person. So that then is what we call the fallacy of being unproven.
Mishiki sunja imbe chirsana chochu tuk marwa. Tradi metabare migi tonya resna, tra migi tonya marwa. Tra mishiki sunja marwa. Di kado dan yip tozu mishiki sunja ra. Kado dan di yip tozu mishiki sunja ra. Tradi kane ke shayade joshua migi tongu do mishiki. Chikjan tongu marwa sa.
Thinking not only that Yamato.
Chijana. Nago namna hago. Kiti na yi. Tami shik sunja maro atanda. Tami ki tonja maro nashik nyaja ra. Nashik namja maro chishi nyongja maro lushi resha maro. Sako tracheje mitade Mishik sunja imbe chirsa tako na. Chojo dhugumado tra mishik sunja imbe tsame tuya yo mara. Dhugumidwa. Oti nashi jikdengi nilu loncho nam chochen chebabu longon do sonde. Chujungi kibi chebe yu imbe chirsa na chojo dhugyo mara. Kibi che mara, ri kibi shago mara, shingtuzo sobda kibi sugu yo mara. Chojo dhugumado. Ti matru beten zisigdwa. Tata na re sigara.
So if we use our example of our own syllogism, that where you've substituted, instead of like saying because it being a product, that sound is impermanent because of being a what do you say, an object of the visual consciousness. If you say it like that, then obviously sound is not an object of the object of a visual consciousness, and so then So then you'd have to say that that is unproven. You know, that's a false, where the reason is false, right?
Yeah. Then you put the mangi betes. Tatana mangi betes. Mangi betes, na. Puna Tachuchen Midaba indi Shija in Bechersana.
Sheja Yimbe.
Tachuchen Midaba indi Shija in Bechersana. Shija in the Midaba in Be Chagumarwa. Takba Yora. Takba to Shejara Midaba Marwa. Shija in the Midaba in Be Chabamangere. Shija in the Midaba Maimbe Chabange Mare. Midaba to Shejarva. Sheja in the Midaba Imbe Cabang Mare, Takba to Shejara. Midaba Marwa. Sheja in the Midaba Maimbe Cabang Mare, Imbe Cabang Mare. Sheja in the Midaba Imbe Cabang Maro, Takba to Shejara Midaba Marwa. Sheja in the Midaba Maimbe Cabang Maro, Pumba Kawa to Kanga, Shejara Midaba. O Tinde Taj Kosona, Mangi Betenzi, Tata Naresura. Diana. In the team be kept go and the Pajo in Medincho and the Main be kept go yara. And that day, Tadi in a tradition in Be kept go mare, Main be kept go mara. Sakotana resigora. Tachi Mitati Shija in Be Chersalana, Cabamangi Betenzirido, Cabanema Mangi Chijulo Mangisure, Cabangone de Mangi Chijulo and Yegomara. Tell a mangi Betenzigore. That tina shitagi. Jibang Nelu Longinam Church, Chebabu long on the Sunday. You've done the Bay Chersanate. You've done then Chebabu long on the Sonia Chagumare. You've done then Chebabu long on the Masoya Chagumare Segura. Mangi Betenzire Segura. You've done then Chebabu long on the Sunday. Chebe Chabayomara, Reeb to Sara. You've done then get it, Chebabu long on the Sunday Chayomara. You've done then Chebabu long on the Sunday Majebe Chagumarwa. Kawadan, the Choseta, Devdan, the Kanga Yip to Chebabu long on the Sunday Chagera. So I can't talk with the Chebabu long on the Sunday. You've done them be Chesana, Mangi Betenzire or the Thai and Amara, Kebamindu Segura. This one. Mangi Betenzide Tata Nachira. Yeah.
So if we take the other.
Midadi Shija in Becher said the Lamna Tescotem and Sujoti Lamna Nilamna. Mangi Betenzi.
So then this is the uncertain, called the uncertain, the fallacy of being uncertain with regards to the reason. If we take our syllogism that and say sound is impermanent because of being a object of knowledge, we could say like, or because of being a phenomena is another way to translate that. Because of being a phenomenon. Well, then you have to then look at the relationship between phenomenon and impermanence, and so that whatever is if we do the forward pervasion, then whatever is a phenomenon is necessarily impermanent is not true, because it would. There are also permanent phenomena, and then if we did, whatever is, permanent is necessarily not a phenomena. That's not true, and so because there are permanent phenomena, so then this is called that the reason then that because of being a phenomena is not that kind of reason is uncertain. It doesn't it's a false reason. so then if we then apply that to what was being said about this, saying that all the shapes and all the, what do you say? All the resources, the abodes, bodies, and resources of the world are are preceded by a mind because of having shape. That's what we had yesterday. Well, you know, that if you subjected that to an analysis of the relationship between shape and shape and being preceded by a mind, there's some that are that they're not. All shapes are not necessarily preceded by a mind. They're the natural shapes of the world that aren't preceded by a mind, and so then and then also that if you say that everything that's not preceded by a mind is not what do you say, is not a shape, then well, then that's not true too, because there are shapes in the world that are what do you say, that are not preceded by a mind. So then that's why it was stated that, you know, that the reason is false. In that case, it's because of being an uncertain. Has the fallacy of being uncertain.
Geldas chiyore.
Gelda yang yo.
Geldas. Geldas na kaba de chinjilo dongye na ta de na tubje chudi yimbe kaba mange beche. Ta de na tubje chudi mayimbe kaba nge na ne kaba chinjilo dongye basan geldas gora. Pena trachu je takba yinde cheba yimbe chirsana. Tade takba reyese yinde cheba yimbe chirsulamna. Ne cheba yina takba mayimbe kab gora. Ko kusen ko de trachu je takba yinde se gora. Cheba yimbe chirsudu cheba yina takba yin ko ba tukyo ora. Tane de cheba chijilo dongye gora. Cheba yina takba mayimbe kab gora. Kesunda te cheba chijilo dongye bare. Chinchilo ha고라.
chinchilo.
야다 원디 제바 이나 따바 임베 개방에네 그 따고 번나시 개방원에 된게라. 야그 따바 인데 제바 임베 실수 라바나시 제바 이나 따바 마임베 잡고요서 개바 chinchilo 동게라.
네.
니도 아텔은 gel다스게라. 디나시 다긴 디 가르스레. 가서 지게 지켜라. 롱원도 손데세 로데 로 딱바질레 세게인다. 메다발레 세게 스티르와.
네.
딱베 로지게 제바 인세 지네넬로 롱주나 추지 제바블로 롱원도 손데 일단 덴베세 페나 풍바신스 랍게이나 스체르와.
네.
아니 일단 덴네 로 딱방원도 손에 마제베 캡그레서 친질로레 캡바.
네.
캡바 친질로레. 풍바송게 되게 로 메다발 삼르다 다 초도 소고 다 샵소고 텐데지 소르마도 로 딱바지 삼르다는 소요 마라. 자 일단 덴나 로 딱바 신건도 손에 마제베 캡그레서. 된 갈다레서 캡바 친질로던 게 바레서. 어디지라니 되서. 되도실람네 되그래.
So then to wind up here, we have the third fallacy, which is contradictory, where the predicate is contradicted. Here, if you say that sound is permanent, okay, because of being a product, then you've completely, you know, taken what is not, you know, what do you say? If you look at the relationship between permanent and product, then you've completely made a mistake. I guess is the only way to say that you're completely mistaken. That there can't be a product that's permanent and a product of causes and conditions that's permanent. So then, and so that's where we had yesterday this idea of contradictory to say that, well, if you say, you know, that the mind that precedes it is precedes the any of the places, bodies, and resources of the world is what do you say, impermanent, then we can deal with that, because impermanent means I think, oh, you have to do this and have to do that, and then there's some kind of change, movement. Whereas if you have a permanent mind, then there couldn't be any kind of creation going on. So then that would be like totally contradictory, and the reason would be, you know, contradictory here. That if you're saying it's that a mind, what do you say, that the resource, the bodies, resources, and body, I can do the Tibetan, okay. The, what do you say, abodes, do you want me to say? Abodes, bodies and resources of the world, they're created by a mind, you know, a permanent mind, because they have shape, then that's, you know, not going to work for us, is what they replied before, because you know, that a shape, a permanent mind, an impermanent mind can create shapes, but a impermanent mind couldn't create shapes. I mean, sorry, an impermanent mind can create shapes, but a permanent mind could not create shapes.
Oh, that is.
That is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those searching.
Okay, so that's the end of today's, this morning's class.